All right, guys, welcome back to Relegation Battle. It was a very mixed week for us guys again. Some people were happy, some people not so much. But Ty's not here yet, so we'll start off with the Europa League this week. Jack, it wasn't really a important game. Not important, but you know what I mean. The 6-2 game was done. Europa League final against Villareal now. Are you feeling confident?
Even though it's done, it's still a bit annoying to lose that game just because we've had a good run away from home and we lost in that game, which is a bit annoying, but like we were already through from the first game, like you said. So and now known as Villareal, it's going to be hard because they're going to want to win it. It's their first European final, but I'm confident that we can win it.
It's Ole's first final against Emery's 5th Europa League one. Do you think that's going to be an important factor in the game?
I think it will be because of the experience. I mean, in my opinion, you can't beat experience. But I think our players will be hungry for this. You know, they've been waiting a few years, keep falling out semi-final. Now they got to the final. They're not just going to be like, okay, we got past the semi-final. This is good. They're going to want to win it, and I think Ole wants to win his first trophy. So it'll be difficult, like I said, but I'm confident.
Who do you reckon are favourites for that now between those two?
100% Man United. I think Man United fans were hoping Arsenal would drop out. Obviously, Man United would still been favourites against Arsenal, but to be fair, Arsenal don't do too bad against Man United, especially with Arteta in recent years. It'd be a harder game all round anyway. But the way that Villareal play compared to how Arsenal would play would suit Man United more. I think Man United will just carve them open, and I think they'll win it fairly easy, to be honest.
Yeah, I was only saw the highlights again because saw Cavani do well, which is, I guess, good for United fans to see. But I think the other thing that happened to you guys this week was obviously the Liverpool game got postponed. But that leaves you guys playing 3 games in about 6 days, if I'm correct. Do you think that's going to happen?
4 and 7.
Oh, 4 and 7 even. I mean, how much of an impact that can have on you guys?
I mean, I don't know how someone can actually physically ask the players to play. We play on Sunday, then Tuesday, then Thursday, then Sunday. I think it's ridiculous. We're going to have 1 day rest in between 2 games, 2 games in 4 days. It's just stupid. I mean, he's going to have to rotate, and you know, sometimes when we rotate, we don't do as well. So I'm just hoping that, because if we would have won that Liverpool game, top 4 would have mathematically would have been secured. But we're definitely getting top 4. So I'm just hoping we don't pick up any injuries before the final.
Yeah, I mean, you know, top 4 is still not guaranteed for you guys yet, but you guys are probably in a much safer position than other teams. So if you're Ole, how much do you rotate now in the next week or so for the 4 games?
You still can't rotate too much because I think the teams we're playing, I think most of them still have something to fight for. Like we've got Leicester, so you can't rotate too much. However, he's got to have that final in mind that you can't keep playing the same players because they'll get injured. You know, so he's going to have to rotate, but we'll just wait and see.
Well, we'll keep the more positive teams talking first before the negativity comes along. Ty, Champions League final again for you guys. A brilliant display over Real Madrid. You know, how positive is it to see that over the competition's most successful team?
Yeah, it's really good. Like obviously, like I've said before, like if you said to me back in December when we was in that really bad run that we'd be in a Champions League final, and I would have just told you to just go and do one. But yeah,
Lorraine did say that, to be fair.
Yeah, but yeah, that was more delusion than anything else. But yeah, yeah, it was really good. Obviously, we bullied them. We should have scored so many more, in my opinion. Like the other day, we should have scored about 4 or 5. Mason Mount said that himself. So yeah, it's really good. And obviously, people can say how Tuchel plays boring football, and that like he clearly doesn't. I mean, we've created the most chances in the league since he's come in. it's just about conversion. I think we've got like the second worst conversion in the top six since he's come in. But yeah, like I said, we should have scored more. Man City, they do have a better team than us, but when it comes to a final, obviously anything's possible. You know, we showed that against Bayern back in 2012. So yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna win it, to be fair. I just got that feeling.
How important is it for Pep to win this Champions League at City now?
Massive. That was the main objective for him when he first joined Man City. Obviously, they expected him to win the Premier League, but it weren't as prioritised as what a Champions League is, because they've never won a Champions League in their history. They've won a Premier League in their history before Pep came in, so it was literally about Pep's experience of winning Champions League and bringing him in for it. And he's had everyone every year says, I think it's City's year, but then they always get knocked down like the quarters. They never do anywhere near as good as they should be. I get that it's a hard competition, but getting knocked down like around the 16 and quarters every time is like really poor from him. But now he's in the final. They're favourites for the final. He can't lose this. This is it. It's probably like, no disrespect to Chelsea or anything, but when we talk about Champions League now, like with teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid going through like a rebuild stage, there's an opportunity for teams like some English teams like Chelsea and any one of the English teams to have a better chance of getting to the final, because especially with like Real Madrid, like just going through the whole team is so old. Like their midfield, the youngest midfielder they had in that midfield was Casemiro. He's 29 years old. And then you've got Modric at 35 still playing. Like, this is like a good chance for City, because they could have, then normally in a Champions League final, you're going to be up against some really, really hard teams like Barcelona's, the Bayern's, the Real Madrid. But I guess you could say that's evidence to show how much the Premier League teams have come. It proves that we probably are the hardest, biggest league in the world, because not only, well, I know obviously if Arsenal did win, it would be a double English final again, but still it's a 2 English team final in the Champions League, which only happened like 2 years ago. So this is so important for Pep, because if he don't win it now, because they are favourites against Chelsea, they should win it. But Chelsea ain't an easy team; they're a good team, so it's going to be tough.
Jack, I know you're a bit more on the Chelsea side of things, I think, when it comes to this final. You know, well, I say you think Chelsea are favourite, shall we say?
No, I only said that just to see what Jay's reaction was. But no, I think it'll be an interesting game tomorrow when they play. But I think because of City's team and what they've done this season, I know Chelsea have been very good since Tuchel come in, but you've got to say City are favourites for this, and that might help Chelsea. You never know. They might relish being the underdog and they might come through. But I do think City will win.
Before going to Arsenal, on that City PSG game, it seemed like it was but it seemed like a PSG. It was so similar to that first leg when that second goal went in for City. They just capitulate all over again. They lost their heads again. The Di Maria stupid setting off. Verratti, I don't know what he was thinking, just kicking out everywhere. Kimpembe went in for a really stupid challenge. Could have easily been sent off, in my opinion. How disappointing was that to see from a team that got to a Champions League final last year and had probably had a great chance to win it again this year?
Oh, it's just their mental side of the game. I mean, like you said, City scored 2 goals, and it's still a lot of work to do. But with PSG's team, it's not impossible, in Neymar. But like you said, they just lost their heads. They were just fouling everyone. They were kicking out. They were just weren't at the races. And I think as soon as Mbappe was out of the game, I think the game was lost, just because Neymar can't do anything himself. If he gets marked out of the game, they've got Mbappe. But in that game, if he got marked out of the game, they had no one, and then that stupid red card, they need to improve the squad big time.
Yeah, like Icardi wasn't even in the game really when he was on the pitch. Di Maria wasn't really getting involved. You could see Neymar was trying, but like I said, it's Champions League, you can't do it on your own. Otherwise, Ronaldo and Messi will be in the finals every year. That's the whole point of it. But yeah, it was really disappointing from PSG. I think, with Poch, I think you expect him to get back by the PSG board, obviously, because they don't really shy away from doing that. I think it's been said that, his priority is a midfielder, which is fair enough. I think that's quite an obvious thing. Bellerin's been linked with them a lot. Probably not the signing that they need. I don't know what any club needs, but I think they have to win the league title now just to sort of not save their season, but just sort of revive it, because it was quite an embarrassing defeat to the City team. Pep, the guy doesn't even play a striker. I mean, obviously he's a great manager, it's a great team, but I don't think they were unbeatable in that sense, especially with the quality that PSG have. I think it's quite poor, but they have to win the league now. But Lille are currently winning 1-0 as well because they're playing the Friday game. So if they do win, that's going to be a bit of pressure on PSG. I'm also keeping an eye on the Leicester game as well, because obviously it affects all three of your teams a bit more than it does my team. But hopefully Newcastle lose. Come on. But let's come to Arsenal now. It was disappointing to watch last night. If you go step by step, the starting 11, a lot of people said that Arteta set up for like a boring 1-0 win, but I thought it was complete opposite. I thought he went way too risky with that team, because it was 5 attacking midfielders, in my opinion. I said it here before, Partey, I don't think he's very defensive midfielder, and he saw that yesterday. He's not the type of player to run the whole midfield by himself, because he can't really defend like that. And Smith and Odegaard aren't exactly the type of people who are box to box. They're far more better in the final third. So it felt like we were going for a big win rather than just secure the 1-0. And we had the chances, Aubameyang hit the post twice. One hit inside the post and didn't go in. I was just like, you know what, it's just not going to be our day at this point when it goes in like that. Smith basically missed an open goal. He tried to chip the keeper who's on the ground, but it didn't really go well. We had the chances there, which is so annoying. And you just look at it, just one of them had to go in and we would have been through. But it was just wasn't our day. I think you guys got to accept that sometimes. But yeah, we all spoke about it the other day. I know the video has been released on Monday in the team of season 1. How we all feel about Arteta. How I feel like I can understand it. I'm not going to be completely delusional and say there's no way anyone could think he deserves to be sacked, because I do understand it. If we haven't done good enough in the league, obviously Europa League as well, you want to at least get to the finals. But I just think with everything that's happened, I think you've got to put context to everything in it. That's the thing. It's just like even the other day when doing team of the season, we talk about stats. You've got to put context into it. If you go back, let me explain my belief, my thinking in full from Wenger. Wenger, I thought he had to be sacked, not because he was a bad manager. Obviously, he's one of the best of all time. But he had to be sacked to almost start a process, because in my opinion, he was too much of a yes man to the board. And the board was a big problem for us. You can see it still is a big problem for us because the owners haven't been changed. But when Wenger left, you can see Gazidis left as well. And you can see he was a problem because he went to AC Milan. And either Maldini's there as well. Gazidis is the one that got them in the Super League. Gazidis is the one that making money the main thing there. So you can see he's a problem there. So I think that is that was one of the points with Wenger getting him out of the club. It's sort of like triggering a lot of other bigger exits. Emery, I think there's loads of things for him. I think the players just stopped playing for him. It's like right now, the players are shit, but it's a bit different than Emery. I think the players stopped playing for him, which is, I think it's unprofessional, to be fair. There's no surprise that the players are playing shit now because they're the same players, but it's unprofessional. I think there was a language barrier there for Emery, of course. He couldn't really communicate the same way that, say, Wenger or Arteta did, because his English wasn't as good. That's not his fault. He tried his best to be fair, but I think that barrier did affect him, and it's always going to affect him, and would affect him better in Spain, because when you have a team that speaks the same language almost, like they do in Villareal, is going to help you out a lot more in just in terms of understanding stuff. So that was a problem then. Like, there's just a bit of toxicity around the club. But with Arteta, when he came in, we had a good start, but I think you've got to understand there was a 3-4 month break there with COVID thing. That's not going to help any manager, no matter new manager. There's been no fans in the stadiums, and I think that's clearly been proven because I think over half the league has a better away record than home record like us. And I mean, don't get me wrong, our home record is definitely still way worse than it should be, but it's not a surprise that we're struggling without fans because, I think every new manager needs fan backing. Every manager needs fan backing in general. I think that's going to affect them massively. Financially as well, that's going to obviously affect us because even though we did sign Partey and Gabriel, it could have been more if that didn't happen. It could have been back a bit more. And, I feel like even experienced manager like Mourinho is struggling this time. Mourinho's not, obviously didn't do well at Spurs, but, he's not like some shit manager. He's won Champions League multiple times, Premier League multiple times. If he struggled, of course, someone like Arteta's going to struggle. So I don't think that's why the experience argument just doesn't work for me because you didn't have to have someone else with a similar team to us. We'd have a great team, but we'd have the worst team. I think Spurs' squad is a bit similar to that. So, next season, I think it's fair to say we won't be giving you, but we won't get European football. Like just focusing on the league, trying to get as high as we can is just the best thing for us. And I think that's why I still trust Arteta. But I'll ramble on now. I mean, what do you guys think about that and just the situation in general with Arsenal, the takeover, everything changing?
Go on, Ty. You have a big. Go on, Ty. You have a big one on this.
I just think he's shit. Let's be honest now, innit? Like you had to score one goal to go through, and you couldn't even do that against Villareal. Like he's rubbish. Like look at all the other English teams against Spanish teams this season. Man United, they destroyed. Was it Sociedad? They destroyed them. Obviously,
Granada.
we just and Granada. Yeah, we destroyed. Well, we beat Atletico and Real Madrid and Sevilla. So it's just like he's not good enough. Like where you're 10th in the league. You've 9th. Well, you'll be 10th soon probably. But he's just not good enough. Like you can still have a young manager. Just get a better one. You know what I mean? Like there are better ones out there. So
he's underperforming.
Yeah.
He's mad because I wouldn't say big time. I wouldn't say he's massively overperforming because where are they 9th? Yeah, They don't have the 9th worst or they don't have the 9th best squad in the league. They've got, but it's not like they have the 5th or the 6th. They're probably about the 7th best, 8th best squad in the league. So he's underperforming. But I think it's unfair to say he's big time, but I think he's got to go just because you've lost 14 games the whole season. It's 8 at home. I get the no fans because we have a better away record than a home record. We keep drawing at home, but 8 home defeats in a season that's uncalled for. And then, like Ty said, you had 14 shots. I think in that second leg, but only 1 on target. I think you only had. Yeah, 1 on target. I mean, in a home game against Villareal where you've only got to score 1, you should be having over 20 attempts, and at least one of them should go in.
Newcastle that's one no. But you've got to understand the 2 post efforts obviously off target and then like an open goal missed as well.
Yeah, so that's where I understand because I feel my team, the manager can't control the players' shots, They can't, but they can kind of control the amount of chances you create. Apart from that, I think the first post shot was a snapshot. I don't think you can call it a real chance. That second was a massive chance. Like, in my opinion, Aubameyang should have buried that. But unless because I watched your game, but I didn't take that much notice of it. But I can't remember clear cut 4, 5, 6 chances. I only remember half chances. You didn't really put them under so much pressure.
Yeah.
and like you said at the start, I think that's where his inexperience let him down. So that's what you said. He played Partey as the only midfielder, and he just got overrun. Every time you turned over possession, they just crowded him out, and then he had to go out wide. There were spaces in the middle, and I think he wanted to do like who did you play in the lot? The Slavia Prague, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you lost or during the first leg, and then you smacked them up. You battered them like 4-1 in the second leg. I think he wanted something to do like that, but Spanish teams, they defend well. And I think that just showed his inexperience. They didn't play, even though he could have played 2 there, and then later on in the game changed it. But it started with 1. I think it was all wrong.
Yeah, I think Arsenal were lucky in that game as well, because I think all Villareal needed, I think they had him for like 20 minutes. All they needed was some fast attacker, because you were there for the taking when it came to the counter, but they never really took the opportunities of the open space because their attacking players were so slow, especially after that Chukwueze came off. For me, I would say if I was an Arsenal fan, I would want him out. The same thing as Mourinho. If you're underperforming, I don't want you in the club. The other thing is, right, if Arteta had someone like Mourinho's resume, let's just say, or someone like that, where you can say, you know what, give him another year because he has proved it before, whereas he's still unknown, I don't think it's worth the risk. But then, Ty said earlier, there are other managers out there that you can get. To be honest, we haven't got a manager yet, and I don't know who I want in that isn't employed. Like, the managers I wanted or want are typically managing another club. I don't really think there's many managers available right now that actually interest me. I don't know about you, Joel, if Arteta would go, if there's someone out there right now that you would want. But typically, all the best attacking style managers that I would want for my team are already at a club, which makes it 10 times harder to get a hold of, especially if that club's doing better than your club, because it's not as simple as joining, especially someone like Tottenham or Arsenal anymore, because it's not like 10 years ago where we're both big teams. But let's just say with Brendan Rodgers, Tottenham and Arsenal are both big teams, much bigger than Leicester. But to be honest, in recent years, especially for Arsenal and even us now, we haven't been the same team, and Leicester have been rising. So
what about Sarri? Yeah. What about him? He's available.
I know. See, I thought he was a bit hard done by at Chelsea, but
yeah, he was.
I'm not. When he was at Chelsea, I never really watched Chelsea play that much. I'm not even sure what his sort of style is, so I can't really comment on that. But I mean, I thought he was hard done by because he won your Europa League and he got you top 4, I believe.
Yeah, he finished 3rd.
Yeah, so he was hard done by, but he's a weird character. So I don't, honestly, he's probably the best one out there. But honestly, I think if we got him, our fan base wouldn't like it. So I know Antonio Conte's been talked a lot recently that he's having talks again with Inter about leaving. I would want him, but then I'm worried about the football he's going to play. I don't want no 5 at the back or defensive counter-attacking shit. I need attacking football. So
his football's not bad. When it's going bad, it's boring. But like when we won the league under him, it was sick. But then it was that second season.
He's a good manager, though.
It was that second season. That's where it went downhill. But yeah,
he turned fucking Victor Moses into like some sick
Alves,
right
mate.
back. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think I could. I mean, I got no choice in it anyway. It's up to Daniel Levy, but I don't know if I'd be happy with Conte coming. Like, I like him as a manager, but to go from Mourinho and be pissed off with the football and then say, you know what, I don't care if we're not going to win anything. Just make sure you actually go to a game and actually attack them and try. Don't just sit back and fucking half-heart it. So I don't think I can go through that again, to be honest. But Joel, like I said, I don't know. Say if Arteta was to go, I don't know who you would want personally, if there's anyone.
I mean, yeah, I think you said that everyone's employed. You know, we're not in a position where we can tempt them away either. You know, where we are as a club, because even though they would have the sort of, I say luxury, everyone wants European football, but obviously next season it's just league and domestics for us. So, that less pressure on them, less squad rotation, they can sort of focus on the team as a whole. But if we sack Arteta, I don't know who'd bring in, and unless they play the same style as Arteta or that passing football, we just do that sort of rebuild again. And I just don't think. I think the problem is maybe I'm too patient, or maybe other fans are just too impatient. I don't know, but are they gonna expect new manager? They're gonna they'll be like, we don't European football. We should win the league title next season, have the first win of the season or something. If we win the first game, and I think you just got to be realistic. If we sack Arteta, I don't think there's unless Conte or one of these two. I don't know what Allegri's doing, but he's been out of the game for so long. I don't know.
I wouldn't want him.
Yeah, unless one of these guys, I wouldn't mind Sarri or Conte personally.
Conte does not work with your board.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't work with any board, but he gets titles, so
exactly.
Can't really complain too much if he's getting titles.
Sure.
But I just feel like I'm happy personally just let Arteta have that next season. Then if a manager does, if Karen and a manager doesn't come available, okay, maybe then go for him. But I think however shit it might feel that we don't have European football, I think it's just a chance for him to not worry about it now, just look at the league and just take our time a bit more. I feel like this whole last season has been a bit rushed. Obviously European games have been a lot close together, including the group stage. It's week in, week out. Everything's been a bit cramped in. I feel like just calm down a bit. Got 4 games left of the season. I don't know how he's gonna motivate the players for that now. We've got a game against Chelsea as well. If it's probably gonna get bad in that the way it's going. But I feel like we just gotta relax a bit over the summer and just come back a bit fresh. Just hope that the board, whether it is the Kroenkes or there's Daniel Ek and whoever is joining him in that adventure, just hope that they do back him properly or whoever they want as manager. Because I feel like, with Wenger, he was the one, he had a budget and he just stuck to the budget. He didn't really try to go over. That's why he signed players like Mustafi, like Kolasinac, these guys, because he didn't really try say, I want more than that. He just okay, I got a budget, let me try to work with it. And we got a bit more, signed a couple of decent players, to be fair to him. He got backed. Unfortunately, there's other problems with him. Then Arteta, fair enough, he did get back with Party, but I think could have got back a bit more. But, it's really disappointing right now as a club, especially after everything that's happened. It's a Joe Willock that scored for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
At least he's
Willock,
scoring.
Keeps delivering against the big teams.
W against us, for us, I mean. But yeah, other than that, I don't really know if I'm looking at what's happened in the last week. So earlier today, so the 9 teams that pulled out of the Super League, they're having 5% of their European competition revenue lost for a season. I don't know if that affects us or not, because we're not in Europe, or it just affects us the next time we're in Europe. We don't know how long that's going to be. But then Juve, Barca, and Real, who didn't leave, they're probably going to face something a bit worse, probably financially still. I can't imagine they'll ban them, because they ban those 3 clubs, especially if Ronaldo and Messi stay. That's a lot of money they're losing through TV rights and stuff like that.
So
that would be interesting. Today it came out, Christian Fogg. I don't know if he's been reliable as he was before, but Mo Salah apparently on the shortlist for Tuchel. Ty, how do you feel about that?
Oh, good God. I don't believe it.
Take my money, you said.
That's what I thought I saw, but
take my money, you said.
If it's true, take my money. But seriously, I don't think it is. I stopped believing him when he said something about Mason Mount being unhappy about Kai Havertz coming in or something like that, and then his dad retweeted it with those laughing faces. I stopped believing him then. But if it's true, then I don't think we'll get him anyway.
True. I know
exactly.
that
it's not gonna
there
happen.
has been talk over a couple of years that Salah is unhappy, but if he's to leave, he will go to Real Madrid. He'll go abroad. Yeah. He won't stay in the Prem.
He'll want a new challenge. He's not going to just go to Chelsea.
Maybe people players are like this. Maybe he's got unfinished business at Chelsea.
No.
I mean, if he wants to
Players are
come,
like that.
then that's fine, isn't it? But
I don't think he'll do that to Liverpool though. Like
Yeah,
after
he
what is
won't
it,
go.
Tuesday?
He won't go Chelsea. No chance.
I'm pretty sure he hates us now as well. So yeah, I don't see it happening personally.
Yeah, and then the other thing was, Turkey are in like lockdown now, and I think UK added them to that red list sort of thing. So fans can't travel there for the Champions League final. FA and UEFA are having talks bring it to the UK. I don't want to mock it yet, but a Champions League final at Villa Park would be so shit in my opinion.
Why would he go Villa Park of every place in
'Cause
England?
Wembley,
Aston Villa offered it.
they can't do
They
Wembley because the
meant to.
Championship playoff finals is the same day. So that's why Wembley's out the picture.
Tottenham Stadium.
Exactly.
Daniel Levy will 100% offer it. I know he will.
You
He
know,
offers it for everything.
exactly.
So if it does come to that and he offers it, I wouldn't be surprised if it is played at ours.
Yeah, even like St. James Park, like a half-empty Villa Park would be so dead. In my, like obviously you're still going to Champions League, but a half-empty Villa Park would be so like dead, man. Like you wanted someone better, as a neutral fan, but I'm sure. I think Tuchel, I just saw a quote saying that he'd be happy wherever it is. Oh, Newcastle made a 2-0 as well, so that's interesting. Probably Paul Dunn scored.
You said Paul Dummett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is United Leicester's the next game, right? For United.
I don't know.
Yes, it is.
We got Villa on Sunday. Then
it's one of your midweek games.
Yeah,
they're bottling it again, man.
Yeah, I mean, if they do bottle it, it's probably not the worst thing for Spurs if they can get Mr. Brendan Rodgers.
We ain't getting in there. Oh, what? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jesse Rodgers.
If they bottle,
they won't
Champions
drop out of
League,
the top 4.
They could.
Nah, I hope they do.
Because we've got to play them as well. So if they lose to us as well, then
yeah, but I feel like our manager's already set who we're going to get. So,
who do you think you're getting?
I think it'll be the Brighton manager. I wouldn't be surprised if what we do is wait and to see where Leicester get, and then to try and tempt them. Because if Leicester bottle it again, then I'd say we got a lot more of a chance of getting Brendan Rodgers, because both teams are in Europa League. So you go off of who's going to have the more money, the players already there, and obviously then the club and training ground, stadium, and then obviously that means we win. But if we're going off of what they're playing for next year, they win at the moment because they got Champions League football, and he ain't gonna do all that work, get them to Champions League, and then say, "All right, I'm going." But if you don't get Champions League, then I'd say we got a chance. I wouldn't be surprised if we hold out, see where they get, and then I expect them to still get. I don't think they'll bottle it this time, but you never know. I mean, who else is going to take that 4th spot? Fucking West Ham.
That's what
they could do.
Oh,
and then they can do. Yeah, but then technically we could.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we can.
Yeah,
but we won't. I'm telling you now, we won't. I mean, we've got to play Leicester.
That's what I'm saying. They have to. They've got a hard run.
Leicester got Man United and us.
And Chelsea. 3
FA Cup
got you as well.
Yeah, they've got us soon.
Fucking hell.
Us 3 in the last 4.
And they've got FA Cup final in between.
If we all beat them, that's only lost 9 points.
I say we all just fucking hate on Leicester and just all beat them. Fuck it.
Give me 1 second.
Not gonna lie though, I do not want West Ham getting Champions League football. I cannot stand West Ham.
Yeah, neither do I.
So, but you know what? I'd probably rather West Ham get it than Leicester if it means we have a bigger chance of getting Brendan Rodgers.
What about if we can get Moyes though?
Yeah, I mean,
allow it.
You don't want him. If
No.
City beat Chelsea on the weekend, do they win the title?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I'm really hoping that doesn't happen because at least we're away. So at least they can't say they won it at the bridge or anything.
God, yeah, you've played them loads of times this year or going to.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you guys technically didn't win the league at Stamford Bridge last year, but you won it for Liverpool against Chelsea, against City, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what worries me really, because I feel like they're going to come out all guns blazing, which is a bit.
Well,
It is a bit
it
scary.
don't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they're gonna win
It's
it.
not
When they
that
win it
deep.
against
It's
Sheffield.
The
just
only thing
yeah,
do you think I'd be worrying about if I was you if they beat you in the Champions League final? That's the
I'm not
big
worried about
one.
that.
You're
No,
not
but
worried.
So you're worried about them beating you to win the title
Yeah, but
that they've already
no,
won?
no, but I'm mainly worried about that because of top 4 as well. But then I think we're going to win Champions League anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah.
well, I think if
Would you be
City
too
win, I
proud
think
if
we
he
know
doesn't get
what
top
clip
4 and lose the
we're
Champions League
looking
final?
to.
Would you be too out if he doesn't get top 4 and
No.
loses the Champions League final?
No chance.
Jay would be
I reckon
if that
you-
happened.
Ty would be like, yeah, bring Lampard back.
Do that.
You never know. You never know.
Oh,
You never
God.
know what Ty tweets on Twitter. It could be anything, change from day to day. But
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I think that's all from this week. Big week in La Liga because it's Barca, Atletico, then Real Madrid versus Sevilla. So just literally the 4 teams challenging for the title playing against each other. So that should be a very interesting weekend for them. But yeah, that's it for me. Unless I've missed anything that you guys want to talk about. All right, have a nice.
Before I think it's time to talk. I think it's time we sit down and just say what's going on. I think we should say